All right, guys.
So there's a new pandemic going around, and it's just like soy boys just everywhere. And we had to come on here and just talk about like why there's just so many soy boys, out and about nowadays. And it's honestly just so annoying. Like even at the gym, like where it should be like a high test, alpha male environment for the most part. And we go to a college campus gym, we go to FAU, which is in the area, and there's just soy boys like lifting. There's no one who's jacked and shredded. We play basketball, everyone has like fluoride brain where they just can't think properly, and like they just act like a spaz. We were talking to this guy earlier at the gym who was like honestly one of the more higher test guys. Of course he doesn't actually go to school, he's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah bro, like everyone just has like ADHD brain. And
Yeah.
it's so true, like everyone in society now just is addicted to dopamine, their hormones are fucked up, and it's just gonna make you like straight retarded at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think as the generations go on, soy boy parents are going to breed soy boy kids, and then more soy boy kids breed more soy boys. And that's kind of how it's been going over the past 50 years. Because in the 70s, that's when they started to introduce like the seed oils, the pesticides, all the plastic. Since the Industrial Revolution, people have been becoming lower and lower test. And it's sad to see, in the college campus, like there's kids freaking laughing when we're trying too hard in basketball, like, oh, they don't want to try. There's kids like, having their AirPods and just feeding their brain fucking retarded rap music 24/7. Like, it's just sad to see that most men. It's just interesting that the women look the same because their estrogen's high, just like they're the same as they are. But the men are the ones getting.
I don't even know. I feel like women nowadays are still like more ugly than women.
Yeah.
Just like you look at it like there's a bunch of acne.
That's true.
There's a bunch of like bloating and
like
fat, just all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, inflammation, all that stuff is gonna be more prominent. But the guys definitely have just gone downhill, and it's because, like you said, the parents, they become soy boys, and then they breed a bunch of other like soylents, fucking soy kids,
soy sons.
Yeah, soy sons. And it's just because we made a video about this yesterday, like all the elders, like a lot of elderly people now are just like honestly soy boys. They just have a beer belly, they drink a bunch of beer, watch TV, do a bunch of bullshit, and they're low test. And that's just going to breed low test sons and kids, and you can't have that.
Yeah, and I feel like when I was a soy boy, my life was absolute shit. Like I got bullied in middle school, got no girls really in high school, was a stoner, had so many problems, and I was just a stupid ass kid. Like I didn't want to try in school, didn't want to try in basketball, didn't want to try in the gym, and I basically wasted all my potential. Like not wasted because I'm good now, but like both my parents were D1 athletes, and I could have probably been a D1 athlete if I was like actually trying, but I was just a fucking retarded soy boy. And it's just crazy. Like if you're watching this and you're a man, you should want to be high test and jacked so your kids don't get fucked over. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching probably have like implemented some of the stuff in the videos, became more high test and jacked, and your life's improved. Bro, like that alone should give you the fire to give max effort to set up your kid for success. Like I know for a fact our kids, they're gonna be eating whole foods only, no microplastics, no cheap dopamine, no TikTok, and they're gonna be set for life. Like I just wish I had someone telling me, to not be doing all the bullshit that I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't know, it's just terrible, though, because people just put their life on cruise control. They just go through life, like, doing a bunch of bullshit, just doing what, like, I guess you can just say, like, it's mainstream. Like, oh, you go in the grocery store, we go to the grocery store all the time, and every single person there is just like, they got a car and they got absolute bullshit in there. It's just like, that's the average person. Mm-hmm. And you just do average things, you're gonna get average results. And talked about this yesterday too. Being average is like not even, like the average is just so low. Like even if you're above average, you should still look at yourself as like below average, because the bar is just so low.
100%. And I think everywhere you go, there's just traps that people fall into with everything. Like, oh, you go on your phone, you fall into the lust trap, you start jerking off, and your brain and dopamine gets totally fucked up, and then you become lazy and low test. Oh, your boys offer you some weed one time. You smoke weed, it feels amazing, you get hooked, and that's how I was. I smoked weed every day for a year, fries your brain, fucks your dopamine, makes you lower test, fucks up your life. One time you have a great time at the bars with your boys for the first time, and you start drinking alcohol. There's dudes who drink alcohol every day for years or drink every weekend for years and they get fat and that ruins their chances of getting shredded and finding the love of their life, for example. Like, there's so many traps that are just so normalized, and it's scary to think that if you don't know what to look out for, you can just fall into a trap and fuck up your life.
And I think when you're like a soy boy, you know, your hormones are so fucked up and you're living that life on cruise control that you don't have a fire under your ass to change. So you're gonna stay the same. Like all these, you know, guys that, you know, we went to college with and stuff that were like soy boys, you know, drinking beers, going out to parties, going out to bars. If we kept doing that, we would have just continued to be soy boys because we would have fallen into that trap and just not gotten that fire under our ass. But, you know, when we stopped going to the bars, we stopped drinking, we cut out, you know, all the bullshit friends, that's when we realized that we were made for more and that we actually got that fire under our ass. But if you never quit those bullshit habits to start, you're just gonna live that life in complacency.
Yes, it's the low test cycle. It's the scariest thing that I was caught in for the longest time. It's basically where when you become low test, you don't want to escape. You don't have a desire to escape. You don't even see that you're low test. You look at everyone else around you who's low test and you're like, oh, it's normal. That's the scariest thing as a man because you're missing out on so much. It's opportunity cost. You're missing out on being shredded, getting girls, getting rich, living long, being healthy. And it's so hard because, especially with the health side of things, like you don't really get, even with, if you start going down the wrong path and becoming a soy boy, nothing bad happens instantly. You don't instantly get no girls. You don't instantly get made fun of. You don't instantly lose respect. The more fat and low test you become, the more the bad things come over time. And then you'll wake up one day and it's too late. Oh, my girlfriend left me because I look like shit. Like I hear, we talk about this example, our one boy who had a girlfriend when he was shredded, got fat, she left him, and he was like fucked up over it. It's like, you got complacent. You fell into the low test trap. You know, she was asking you to go get fucking insomnia cookies and go drink with her, and you got fat. It's like, it's so scary to fall into that trap and people don't even see it.
Yeah, and another example is just like there's a guy in the neighborhood who, you know, we were talking to him about locking in his like health and fitness, and he was like, oh, it's not that much. It's not that important to me. Like when God takes me, God will take me.
That's
like, it's like the most low test idea ever. Like, oh, when God takes me, he's going to take me. Like, there's nothing I can do. Like, you're just a victim to your own mind at that point. Like, that's the most pussy shit that you can ever say. Yeah. Like, oh, God just makes everything happen for a reason, so I'm just going to do what I've been doing, and if I die, I die. It's like, bro, okay, you're going to bring God into the situation. You're going to put like the blame on God, like what's going to happen, but he's the one giving you the opportunity.
The tools.
And the resources to be the best version of yourself, and having that victim mindset is not something that...
Yeah, like God's giving him the fucking tools to fucking get in shape, live longer, honor his temple, and he's just saying, oh, God's just gonna take me whenever, you know, when I die, I die. That's the most retarded shit ever. God gives you all the tools to max out your life and help other people and help yourself and have a family. But if you don't have a family, you're not successful, you're not jacked, you're not using his fucking tools, because guess what? We're all fucking humans.
And there's people out there that have that. So if we're all humans, obviously some people have, you know, lower starting points than others, but anything is achievable at the end of the day, and you have the resources. Yeah. And if you don't have the resources, you can create the resources. Yep. So it's not hard, you just have to put in the work, and that's the problem. When you're a soy boy, you don't want to put in the work. You're so lazy, like, oh, God's gonna take me because I'm fucking low test. We were having this skepticism, like, oh, you know, the guy that we were talking to who said, oh, God will take me when he takes me. We were just saying, oh, he's probably low test. Like we were like, oh, we bet his testosterone's below 150, because it probably is. Because when you're low test, you don't have any fire under your ass. You don't have any desire to level up in life, and that's the worst thing that you can possibly have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of my mindset when I was back in high school. That was when I was the lowest test. Like, I've been smoking weed and vaping and drinking and playing video games and getting like 6 hours of sleep before school every day. And that's like, you know, if someone asked me to go to the gym, I would have rather done anything else than go to the gym. I was like, just in my head, like thinking about girls and video games. And like, that's why you just need to like get close to God, honestly. Like, if you're not religious, it's way easier to fall off and be a lazy soy boy. At the end of the day, like, because you could just argue, oh, it doesn't matter. Getting jacked doesn't matter. You know, when I die, it doesn't matter. It's like, well, if there's a heaven and hell, and God tells you to be the best version of yourself, he tells you not to sin, that should be the fire. You know, if you're a holy or religious man in any religion, You know, God always wants you to be the best version of yourself. But if you don't believe in God, it's like you have way less of a fire to even do anything at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Hormone said this one time. He's like, you know, if I wasn't working he's like, sometimes I feel so burnt out that I just want to quit. But then he's like, okay, if I wasn't working so hard, then what would I do? And I feel like that's a high test mindset. Like, oh, if I'm not working so hard, then what would I do? I'd be nothing and I'd be doing nothing. And that's just, you know, cock beating and low test. But a lot of you guys, you're not doing anything because you've never understood the other side of actually putting in the work. You have to get addicted to leveling up and putting in the work every single day. But when you're low test, when you're estrogenic, when you're a fucking soy boy, and you're just addicted to the dopamine, the drinking, the partying, the absolute bullshit every single weekend, it's gonna be hard to work hard because you're getting the dopamine from the cheap shit. You're not getting the dopamine from actually working hard. That's why we don't drink. That's why we don't smoke. That's why we don't do all this bullshit. Because the truth is, we don't need that dopamine to actually get dopamine. We get the dopamine from working hard. But when, you know, you're an old head and, oh, God's just gonna take me whatever, but, you know, you look at his habits and he's watching TV for 6 hours a day. He's eating cereals and doing bullshit. It's like, okay, maybe that's why he doesn't want to work hard. So you're going to be a product of your environment and your habits at the end of the day. You always have to fix your habits first, because if we didn't fix the smoking weed, the video games, all the bullshit that we were doing, we wouldn't have ever leveled up.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard because the average man in America lives like a king. Like, I said this before in a video, but like, you know, think of a king in the 1800s. He didn't even have running water. In the 1800s, I don't think there was like hot showers. They didn't have air conditioning. They didn't have TV. They didn't have any food that you could just tap a button on your phone. Like, if you think about it, someone who makes $60K a year could DoorDash any meal on earth that tastes amazing with all the preservatives and processed sugars. It tastes 10 out of 10. Oh, McDonald's with the fries and the sauce with a million ingredients. It tastes so good. Then you could go sit on your couch and watch the greatest entertainment. You could put fucking the hottest naked girls. Like, imagine you're a king. I want the hottest girl coming and giving me sex right now. You could literally do that if you're a fucking broke loser right now. That's the scary thing. And then you could, like, imagine you're a king. I want my band to come in here and play this song. Like, you could put any fucking song with the best quality right in your ears. You could sit in bed. And that's what people just fall in love with, all the vices. It's just vices and dopamine. Like, honestly, if your dopamine's not making you better, I would equate it to something bad. Like, oh, music isn't a bad thing, but if it's just something you're wasting your time on, it's bad because you're wasting your time on earth. Like, even if it's not inherently, oh, it's not evil music that's gonna make me worse, you're just wasting your time, which is a bad thing in general.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Hormone said, oh, you know, going back to Alex Hormone, he's like, yeah, it's so much easier to get rich than it was, you know, 20 years ago, but it's 10 times easier to get distracted, or it's more easier to get distracted. So, you know, we see this all the time with, you know, some of our boys who, you know, want to get rich and, you know, don't want to work a job and stuff, but they're still not putting in the work. You know, they're still scrolling reels, they're still doing bullshit. It's like, bro, you have to analyze like everything that's like taking your dopamine and providing you dopamine at the end of the day. Because if you're focusing on the things that are, you know, you're working hard for and is producing you dopamine so that you can continuously do those things, then equate your work to that. But if you're, you know, watching reels, watching TV, eating bullshit, it's just gonna all, you know, cycle back and you're gonna be stuck in the trap.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't waste time as a man. I look at all the kids at FAU, like, watching Netflix in their room, you know, playing basketball when they're fat or skinny fat. Like, that's just a waste of fucking time. Like, the more time you waste, the less chance there is that you're going to be successful in any realm. Making it to heaven, getting a job, getting a girlfriend, getting jacked. Like, you just can't be wasting your time. And there's so many distractions that you can just waste your time on, and it's so enjoyable. And you just realize that pointless dopamine should be shoved out of your life and cut out and starved completely forever. I think that's the biggest thing that will push someone forward.
Yeah.
Like, we see our boys who are like smart. We have like smart friends who just waste their potential. Like, they always send us reels. They stay up watching these podcasts and live streams. It's like, it's just a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, it's not making you better.
Yeah.
And if it's not making you better or making you more disciplined, then why are you allocating time to that? So, I mean, that's probably a good way to end the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Focus on, you know, the things that are gonna move you forward and not take away your dopamine, because that's so important.
Yeah, it's so fucking important. It's so fucking important. If you really allocated all of your time.
And if you asked me, 2 years ago about dopamine and stuff, we wouldn't even know about it. Like, we only recently discovered dopamine.
Yeah, we talk about it like every video.
People don't understand it.
Oh yeah, like these kids have fucking. They're playing basketball and they have fucking AirPods in. Like, bro, that does nothing for you. Listening to a song doesn't change reality. You go home and do you remember the song? Damn, I'm so glad I listened to that song. No, it doesn't do anything. Like when you waste your time scrolling, you go to bed at night. Do you even remember the reels? No. If you ate McDonald's 20 times last year, do you even remember? Like, it's already gone. It's already gone. The thing is, like with our diet and fitness, we walk around with all of the results and all the effort that we put in. When you eat McDonald's, you walk around with all of the shame and the stupid choices you made. You walk around with the fat and the rolls. We walk around with these physiques because every day we're eating the beef and the eggs and lifting, and we carry those results with us. With building our businesses, we have money. We carry the money in our bank accounts 24/7. We can go do what we want. We have financial freedom. But when you make these wrong choices, you carry the wrong choices with you and you carry the right choices with you.
Yeah, I mean, everything's going to be a reflection of your choices. So just choose wisely on what you do and focus on moving the needle forward and actually being high test. Because if you just have that victim mindset, like our neighbor or like these soy boys, you're not going to level up.
You can always blame someone else, but I mean, if you see another human who's done something crazy, like David Goggins was like a fucking homeless broke person who was 300 pounds and now he's like shredded and a multi-millionaire with a book. Like, I'm trying to think of like other people, like LeBron James is in the fucking projects with no father and then he's LeBron James billionaire. Like, bro, if some person in the hood who has nothing can do something, stop making excuses that you're too broke or you're in a bad spot. Like, we were raised in like middle class families, but like even if you're in a shitty spot or a great spot, I mean, you can definitely do it.
I mean, you could be rich as shit and still end up like a dopamine fat ass.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, rich kids are more soy boys because they're spoiled. Like kids who are like middle class to lower class because they have to work harder.
No struggle.
Yeah, they have the more struggle you have as a man, the further you're gonna progress.
Yeah.
And these kids at FAU, I mean, a lot of them just like it's like an expensive school. I mean, even at St. Joe's where we went to, like kids are fat. They're using their parents' credit card to buy their fucking drinks at the bar. It's like they're driving these like Mercedes that their parents bought them. It's just like that's why you're fucking fat, low test, and soft.
Yeah, literally. I mean, we were higher test than everyone because we honestly had less resources and we had to work for them. Like,
we weren't handed shit.
We didn't have a car. We were walking to the gym every single day, 2 miles, walking to the grocery store every single day, another mile, walking to campus, another 2 miles. Like, we were walking everywhere and literally grinding to be the best versions of ourselves. And that's why we were able to level up because we built those habits back then. And now we have them now.
Yeah, and every summer when we would go home, we worked. Every summer since, I mean, my parents said if I'm not playing a sport in school, every off season in high school I had to work a job, and then every summer from college they made me fucking work. So freshman year I worked at Panera 40 hours a week. Panera bread, that shit was ass. Standing making fucking sandwiches and salads, and that's something where I discovered how bad processed food is. Like Panera bread, the food, bro, everything's packaged, nothing's fresh in the entire place. Literally all just the bread, everything's fucking flown in, which was ass. Next summer, worked as a landscaper 40 hours a week, shoveling mulch. So it taught me like I don't want to be a broker who has to work a hard ass job because that shit was ass. Waking up at 5 a.m. shoveling mulch, and then internship next summer, had the job lined up the following summer, and that kind of taught me the importance of like working hard to escape. Those lessons made me want to not work extra hard to not be stuck in a spot that I didn't want to be in. But like, what jobs did you work? I forgot.
We should probably make it just another video on that. Just
Yeah.
like our like whole career path. I feel like that's a good video.
Yeah.
We're gonna record it right after this. So we're gonna end the video. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.